welcome back to Beauty Bee. Today's video is going to be 2 looks, 1 palette, featuring my Shop My Stash palette for the next couple weeks, which is the NYX Avant Pop in the shade Nouveau Chic. It's what I am wearing today, which is the second look. You also see a first look that is a bit more cool toned and purple. All right, well, let's get into it. I want the real star of this look to be this very pink lipstick from Flower Beauty. So I'm going to put that on first because it's actually pretty bright. That way I can judge how much color I want elsewhere on my face so as to not overpower it. I love this lipstick, by the way. It wears so well throughout the day. It's stunning color. It's comfortable. Oh my goodness. Cannot recommend highly enough. And now I'm searching. That's a good portion of all these videos. Okay. Fluffy crease brush. And into that sort of taupey matte color. I wanted this particular look to look really nice with glasses, and I will show you that at the end of this part of the tutorial. I wear reading glasses occasionally, and I knew that that particular day I was going to be on my computer a lot and therefore probably need them. So what I'm doing is just taking this big, pretty fluffy shader brush, and I'm pretty lightly putting that just all over my lid as well as up into my crease a little bit. And time to build it up a little bit more. You know, I don't remember it taking this long, but I guess it did. All right, I think you're good. Okay, now we're going to take a pencil brush and get that same shade and put it under the eye. Put a little bit of smudgy liner under the eye. And hopefully that does not take as long as the eyeshadow did. Okay, think we're good. Now I'm taking this little detail brush and I'm going into that highlight shade. I don't know how well you can really see it now because I like this shade, as you may be able to tell, but it's a pretty sparkly sort of pink champagne color. It's very pretty. I ended up using it up largely as a cheekbone highlight, but in this look I'm only using it on the inner corner, and I think I might add it to the brow bone later, but we'll have to check. Right now I'm going back into that same fluffy shader brush, and I'm going into this sort of almost iridescent, cool tone, very cool tone, almost bluish light purple, and I'm going to just put that right near the lash line in the center of the lid, just to give it a little bit of extra oomph. I don't think this is technically a halo eye, but it's sort of that effect, adding something that's just a little bit brighter, a little more interesting right at the center of the lid. And now I'm going to go into that highlighter shade with just another shader brush, this one much smaller, and hit my brow bone. I wanted to keep the eyes cool toned, but fairly light in this. Okay. Oh, you really sped through that. My cat eye did not go well when I was trying to do it in front of you, so I went to my mirror and did it again. So we spared you about 4 minutes of nonsense there. Now I'm taking that darker purple shade. It is slightly shimmery. I don't think you can really see that though. And I am using that on a liner brush to line both, um, meeting up with the winged liner that I did, and then really hitting right along the lower lash line. While I'd smudged before, I'm keeping this very concentrated and next to the lashes. This is precision work, y'all. I just keep getting lower and lower, closer and closer to it. Closer and closer to the mirror. Forgot I did that. Yeah, I was a disaster doing this, but it actually turned out pretty cute. So I'm going now into my brow powder, which is the Balm Brow Pow in blonde, and I'm going to go, I think, pretty much at speed through filling in my brows, just because I don't believe that I have ever used this particular powder on, or even brow powder in general, on my channel before. I find that this brow powder gives a more patchy, almost, brow, not necessarily in a bad way. It's lighter than a brow pencil. It looks a little bit more natural than a brow pencil, but it really doesn't do a whole lot for me, I feel. I It looks like I have a little bit of product, but not a ton in my brows. Additionally, I find that this shade is a little bit more cool toned than I would prefer. I like that my e.l.f. pencil that I usually use has a little more red in it. Now I'm switching to blush, and I'm using this Tarte Harmony blush on a really big blush brush. Just putting that on my nose and my cheeks. Tarte Harmony on me is a pretty nude pink, as I'm sure you can tell. And I also added a little bit of Essence Pure Nude highlight. This looked really pretty in the moment, and then I had to film later that evening, and I looked like a greasy mess because turns out it was like a 93-degree day or something ridiculous like that. Unacceptable. But it does look pretty in the moment, doesn't it? Oh, and I forgot mascara. Yeah, I told you, this was a bit of a disaster tutorial, but it ended up looking really cute. So I guess maybe that's step one. Embrace your inner chaotic D&D character. I'm thinking chaotic neutral, though I would really like to consider myself a chaotic good. Okay, lash number 2, and I think that will bring us to the end of this tutorial. Screw on the mascara lid, and hope you're not dropping anything. And yeah, I think you're good. I actually do really like how this turned out. Also, the glasses, I love these glasses. I think they're so cute. I kind of wish that I actually needed glasses so I could wear them more often. Oh, hello again! Tutorial number 2. Glad you tried waving again. That's interesting. That seems like something you should have edited out. Too late now. Well, into the gold eyeshadow. Because I knew that I was going for more of a nudish lip on this, I felt more secure starting with the eyes. This particular shade is a lot like the that bronzy gold that's in the Subculture palette. I cannot think of what that is called right off the top of my head, but it's very much that vibe where it's dark but sort of rosy at the same time. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. I don't think I appreciated it nearly enough when I first bought this palette. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my shader brush, and I'm going to take that matte sort of creamy yellow shade and put that in the, not quite in the inner corner, but right next to the inner corner of my eye. Honestly, I don't feel like this step actually did very much. If I were to do this again, I would probably just skip it. I don't have a lot of use for this particular shade. I used to think I could use it as face powder. I was wrong. Now I'm going back into that shimmery highlight shade we used in the last tutorial, and again I am going to highlight my inner corner with it. You can look in the mirror, but you never really know if things are even until you check in the viewfinder. I'd love to say that I'm joking about that, but it's kind of true. Okay, now I'm going to use this shimmery dark green on, I believe it's a blender brush, but it's quite a small, pretty targeted blender brush, and I'm just going to work on the outer corner with that. This is one of the shades in the palette that is really starting to go downhill as it gets older. Um, I, I see a little bit of green coming from the shade, but I mostly just see dark. You know how it can be with some of those older, darker shades? They sort of lose their intensity and start just looking deep on the eye. That's what's happening here. And now I'm trying to get that nicely blended in. Again, you gotta check in the viewfinder, and apparently I thought it was good. So now I'm using that same pencil brush we used in the last tutorial and doing pretty much the same thing, taking the uh, darker outer corner shade and smudging it as liner under my eye. Similar techniques, different color scheme, and it gives just a very different vibe. Are we good? Nope, apparently not. Now I'm taking this really fluffy crease brush and I'm going to go into that taupe shade again with a tiny, tiny amount of product and use that to blend everything out. Really, if I was going to do this look again, I think I might just skip this step or just use no product on that brush. I don't feel like the taupe really added anything, and I feel like it took away a little bit from the gold and green. It added just that tiny, tiny bit of coolness to the look that I think I could have gone without. Digging, digging. Okay, so now we are going to, again, same highlight shade. Oh, actually, we're deeping it up with just a little bit of that yellow because I'm trying to cancel out a little bit of the pink and going under the brow bone with that. The yellow on my skin tone is too much. It doesn't work as a highlight because it's just too deep. And this time, I just sped through my brows because I've done this like 30 times or something ridiculous on my channel before, and if you want to know how to do it, I guess look at one of my other videos. Same thing for mascara. Don't know why you would need a tutorial on how to put on mascara because I don't think I've ever talked through it, but you know what? If you want it, you can always ask. Now I'm taking this Shimmering Rose cream blush and I am dotting it on my cheeks. Usually I just blend this in with my fingers, but I had this really dense brush that I'm pretty sure is intended for foundation handy, so I went in with that. My cheeks are going to look quite pink at the end of this, but that is partially just the brush. A few minutes after this, I would look much more just wearing blush, less red. We love a fake blush smile. Now I have to search again. Oh yeah, because I turned into such a grease ball the day before, I was feeling really cautious. So I decided to set everything down with this matte powder, especially since the e.l.f. Monochromatic Multistick can just feel a little bit oily at the end of the day when it's warm out, and it's always warm out. It's August. I'm just setting everything down. And I decided to put that Pure Nude highlighter on, but only hitting my shoulders to give a little bit of glow, a little bit of almost definition to my shoulders that isn't really there. It feels very weird to do that on camera. I feel like I'm twisting my body in very strange ways. But it's on, I'm looking kind of glowy. And now all I've got left to do are my lips. Oh, jostle the camera. So I'm using this Maybelline lipstick. It's in the shade Pink for Me, and it's a cream. I love this lipstick. This is actually, I think, the only lipstick I didn't show in my makeup collection, which I will link. It was indeed in my office drawer, but I found it. It's back in my possession. Don't know what that was about, but dotting on a little bit of this NYX gloss in Tiramisu, which is a very similar color to the lipstick for a little extra shine. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I've been having a really good time the past week or so making looks from this palette, and I am excited to continue to get good use out of it going forward. Thanks again for watching. I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed, and I really hope I will see you next time. Bye!